Oh shit.
Mike,
Hey, how's it going, universe? Welcome to another episode
guys.
of Zoo Box, a podcast about nonsense. Mike is drugged up. He's a fiend right now. This guy, we're a day late, everybody, because of Mike's. Apparently, he's got some sort of drug problems. He can't help himself. He's been into the Delta-8 world. He's been running around. He looked pretty good, glassy-eyed right now. What's going on, my friend?
What are you looking at?
What are you doing?
Yeah, like what are you doing right now? You're clicking, you're looking. I guess we should have waited. Mate, can you hear us, Mike?
Well, why would I don't understand what needed to change?
I have no idea.
Between the second we're going.
Oh, he's gone.
He's good. Good fucking.
He disappeared, man.
Listen, this guy doesn't have a job. He's a degenerate.
Yeah.
We thought we got rid of him. Now he's
back. Okay. So are you? No, you can't hear shit. Talk again.
Can you hear me?
Yes. There you go.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I don't think your mic was hooked up before.
Okay, so we didn't get to record last night, and the reason why we decided to hold off because if Mike couldn't be there, it was just going to be me and Dan, and me and Dan already do a show once a week. That's usually just Dan.
Yeah.
So we decided we'd wait. But what happened, Mike? Now, Mike sends us a frantic message. Boys, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
I've pulled my back. And this is after a long stream of messages about being very irresponsible.
Yes, it was not the most. But
so
hey,
what happened?
Well, okay. So I told Dan the backstory. I injured my back a long time ago. I fell off a roof, landed right on my back.
Mm-hmm.
So ever since I did that, this side of my rib, the top rib, sticks out more than all the other ones. Yeah, my left side. It sticks out more. There's not if you feel it, it doesn't. You can't see it, but if you touch it,
does it hurt?
It hurts if I rub it a lot. So that's just the way it was. It's been like that.
If I grab it and I agitate it, it tends to cause pain.
I punch myself in the stomach.
So that happened, and like I was telling Dan, I sat there for 3 days and just took Vicodin, never went to the hospital, and got better.
Yeah.
I just
good old northerner. I'll just
yeah.
It hurts until it doesn't.
Yeah. And so then this was maybe 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So the other day I was doing yard work, pulled that same muscle. That whatever reason I aggravated that same muscle, I aggravated when I fell off the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this time I didn't have Vicodin, and it was it flares up. It'll, I was telling Dan, when I came home, it was pulsing.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You could see it. It was
So is it in your rib or is it in your
no,
shoulder?
it's in my back. It's in right here. It comes right down the middle.
Oh,
between the out that. And if I take a deep breath in, that hurts.
It hurts. Yeah,
the
right
muscle.
there, because it sits right on the upper dorsimus muscle.
Yeah.
Right next to the lower dorsimus.
Yeah.
Connected to the abridged.
So it's that muscle. So anyways, I was in a lot of pain at work, and you guys telling me about these Delta-8.
So what did you just rip by a gas station or something?
No. I went into a CBD store.
Yeah.
I called the gentleman. I said, "Hey, you guys open? You sell Delta-8?" He's like, "Yeah." I go there. I'm like, what do you got here? He breaks it down. Young kid, 19. He says, "Hey, I got one. I'm like, what's the best one you got?" He's like, "This is the best one I got. It's $4 for one gummy. It's 50 milligrams." I was like, "Okay, give me that." Gave him the money, opened it up. I was going to eat it. He grabs my arm. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to take it." He said, "You got to work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got to work." He's like, "Dude, do not take that. You're going to get so stoned. Don't do that." I'm like, "Okay, well." Then he kind of scared me. Then he introduced me to the 25 milligram ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, I'll take those." But he's like, "I wouldn't recommend taking this right now. Wait till you get home and you can kind of chill out." So.
Well, what does he know? He's just a humble
young
CBD.
kid,
He's not a fucking doctor, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't know how high I can get. He ain't know me.
So I leave here. I call my client, my last client of the day, see if this guy can move up. He can't move up. He's actually got to push back 20 minutes.
And this whole time, you're in pain. You're hurting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just if like I move it, like even now if I move it the wrong way. But
Yeah.
so it wasn't as bad as yesterday. So I'm sitting there and I have like 2 hours and 15 minutes before I even got to go to this guy.
Okay.
So I just pop one at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, are you talking 25? You took a
25, 125.
Wow.
Because I
Okay.
didn't want to take the 50.
Thank
Yeah,
God you
yeah.
didn't take the 50, dude. You'd be fucking yeah. So how
So-
high were you?
Well, I got really high for like 20 minutes.
Okay, but like how long? So you ate it? Are you talking like an hour into
Yeah,
it?
it was like an
That's
hour.
when yeah.
It was at like 2 o'clock. I put it in at 1 at 2 o'clock, and I tried to call you at like 2:20 because that's when I came out of it. It was like from 2 to 2:20. You didn't pick up my call.
When? You didn't call me.
I called you,
You
And
didn't
I-
call me.
and I was listening. What did you end up buying?
What? You
For
didn't
the
call me,
pot.
man. Okay.
Yeah, I did. But anyways, what did you buy?
You were so
The
high.
couch?
The
What?
couch. What are you
What are we-
talking about?
Focus.
You
buddy.
were talking about buying a couch or an amp.
Oh, we did talk.
Not me. I didn't talk to you. I
Man, what do
listened
you- When? To what?
on the podcast.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all-
you-
so
well, you
you
haven't-
were
well,
on
hold
the
on.
podcast. So you
You
were
haven't-
listening to us high. Is what
yeah,
you're saying.
I was. I was.
But you never tried to call me. I
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
checked.
That must have been the drugs, Michael.
No, I
Like,
tried to call you.
The last call I got from you. Okay, doing a little investigative work here.
I'll prove
me
it to you,
see.
dog.
You have
Because
Dan
I don't
even
think I got it.
mistrusting his
Because
own memory. He's like, wait a second. Did I talk to you about
Dan,
this?
right here. I tried
10.
to call you at 2:27
at what day?
yesterday.
No, dude, I didn't get it. Because the
27th.
only one I have is from you is from 10 in the morning when I called you the other day.
Oh, well, I got you on here. But anyways, well, Dan, I didn't think I was going to be able to go see this client.
Yeah, because
Did
you
that-
you texted the group though, and
Yeah,
that's
I know
when
that.
that's why you
Okay.
said, "Hey, will 25 milligrams be like too much?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I mean like you'll be all right."
And then I took
Well-
it, and then I regretted it.
Well, like, because it's just like a body high, right? It's not like you don't have the fog of being like stoned.
I
took like
was.
200. I took 200 milligrams last night. I was fucking stoned. Like I
Listen.
was laying in my bed, like I was tripping. I was tripping for a little bit.
It got me pretty stoned. Maybe 25 was not a lot to people, but to me, it was a lot at the time. It got like I was like scared because like for like 20 minutes, like, man, I don't know if I can get out of this car. Like, what the hell am I gonna do? And then I started to get tired.
Oh no!
So
yeah.
then I went into the gas station. I bought a freaking because I was craving. So I bought a Red Bull,
Nice.
and then I bought a big thing of Reese, like a king size one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were trying to counteract
Yeah.
the oncoming.
So you're
So-
just high in
and
the
I-
car,
and-
smashing
and I got-
Reese's and fucking drinking Red Bull.
Yeah, and a big
yeah,
Red
this will
Bull.
make me. This will make me feel better.
Well, I
This
thought it
is-
was giving me like a juice, but then that jacked
Yeah.
up my heart rate. It was like, "Ugh,"
Yeah.
for a little bit, and I was like, oh, but then I came out
So
of
are
it,
you
and I was
just sitting
fine.
in a random gas station parking lot, just like fucked up?
Yeah, for 2 hours.
Can you imagine, like you're basically so you don't have a job anymore. You're hanging out at gas stations for hours high. This is just like your prelude to being homeless, like meth addict. Like this is like,
Yeah, you're gonna be a gummy junkie.
hey
man,
can I get a couple bucks? I want to get a Red Bull and some Reese's, man. Come on.
No, I'll straighten out here.
Look, 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 look,
kinda-
I'm trying to get 100
I just-
milligrams. Trying to hold
I-
100 milligrams. What you got?
like-
What you got?
So you're saying 25 really messed you up, huh?
Mhm.
I guess it's hard because like so I have.
Maybe it
A
was
couple-
like myself too. Like I don't know if I was like,
Well,
Like,
did you if you hadn't
yeah.
eaten much that day, it probably
yeah,
could,
I didn't
like,
eat much.
It
I
probably
didn't
hit you
eat till I
faster,
ate that
maybe.
Reese's.
I've found there's one brand that I don't like. Like I don't think it works as good. It says it's 50 milligrams. It is not as good. But like the 25 ones, they're like these little gummies. Like they're like little square gummies.
Yeah, that's
I
what
ate,
I
like-
got.
I ate like 8 of them
8 of
last
them.
night at once, and they were 25 each, dude. I was fucking lit. Like I was
Why did
watching.
you do that many?
Well, I wasn't feeling so good. Like I haven't been feeling great. Like I just been feeling like shit, like a headache and hot. And I was just like, well, fuck it, dude. Like I'll maybe I got COVID, but maybe this will help like me just feel better, self-medicate. And I'm just laying in the couch, dude, like fucking playing phase 10, just fucking high, listening to Jordan Peterson talk about the gulag. And I'm just like, I got so fucking high, dude, that I was imagining like in my head playing phase 10 in a gulag. Like I was imagining it. And I was sitting there, I was like, this would be fucking nuts. Like if this is how you had to like fight, like you had to like phase 10 was how you got food and shit. That's what my whole head was
But
surrounded.
that's kind of one of the weird things about the Delta-8 is that like you become like very hyper focused on whatever you're
Yes.
doing. Like so
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're like watching, I actually really like watching movies because I literally shut off like my computer, my phone,
Yep.
and I just fucking
Zone in.
zone right into it, and I pick up everything about it like I've seen it 100 times because I'm
This-
so detail oriented all of a sudden. But you're kind of like in a coma though. You're almost like catatonic, and you're just kind of just staring at the TV. Got to remember to blink sometimes.
like,
yeah, that's happened to me.
I think the Delta, this is the bullshit thing is it's not as good
No,
as real edibles.
Well, I want to try that then.
Well, no, real edibles, like actual edibles, it doesn't take much. Like if you would have taken 25 milligrams of edibles, you would have been probably like 5 times as high. Like you
Yeah.
would have been at least 3 times as high as you were.
I don't know, Dan. These things, like when I smoked it the other day,
Mm-hmm.
like I smoke it a lot. Like these things make me more high.
Wait. Are you saying smoking weed or are you saying
Yeah,
smoking
yeah.
Delta-8?
No,
You can
no,
smoke
no,
it too.
no. I
You can
no,
get
I don't
vape-
know.
You can get vape pens, dude.
No,
and
I'm
hit it.
talking about the grass.
Yeah, the grass.
This made me more.
Well, I'll say this much. Edibles get you higher. Like I think it's a more sincere high.
This thing made me more, in my
Like-
opinion.
Like just
And I gave one to Maritza. She was like, "Oh, those things don't do anything."
yeah.
I was like, "Here, take this."
You pop her.
45 minutes. 45 minutes later, she's giggling, eating. It was like hilarious.
Oh, but she loved it.
Yeah.
well,
like
it's kind of because it's a way to do recreationally, kind of do that without, I guess, like the kind of the intensity of it, like without like all
Yes.
the other bullshit that like
Yes.
it's a cool thing. Like if you're married and you have like a kid or whatever, it's kind of safe to do.
Well,
Like
yeah.
when you're at
well, you
home
don't
at
feel
night, like
you don't feel like the police are gonna come kick down your door because you're smoking weed in your backyard. You know what I
well,
mean?
that
Like,
obviously, yeah.
like it just feels like it's okay. And that's the one thing I will say about living in Portland for those few months. It was completely common, commonplace. Yeah, it was normal. Like people would come home, guy just got home from a long day at work and he goes in his backyard and he fucking lights up a joint. And like, like he'll be like, "Hey Dan, you over there?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "You want to smoke?" And you go smoke a little bit with the guy and you hang out and you bullshit. And then, yeah, I did like that you could just smoke weed in your yard. Like, let's say you're doing yard work.
Yeah, that would
You
be
just-
awesome.
You could just light up a joint and just fucking,
that sounds awful. That sounds fucking awful.
No, Sean,
What?
mowing the lawn, man.
No, but
It's
like, think
freaking
about it.
awesome.
Okay, Sean, do you know how you like zone into a movie? Imagine
Sure.
you're just like zoned into just doing some like,
Yeah, and
No,
mowing, dude,
100%. Yeah.
you just rip around on that thing. Ryan would know. Ryan's done it. The
I
lost
like-
Ryan.
yeah, Ryan's working every weekend now for now, but it's one of those things, man. I don't know. I think Delta-8 works. It's not, perfect. I'm telling you, like true edibles are better in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because the cost effectiveness of doing Delta-8 all the time is just not there. It's not. I mean, it's too expensive, and you have to take too much of it to really, if you really want to get like fucked up, like you got to do what Dan did. And
What?
what I'm saying is, if you were to do that on a
That's a lot
regular
of money.
basis, it's a lot of money.
Well, I think it's the same thing. When I was living with a guy that in Oregon, and him and his girl, like they smoked weed all day. Like
Yeah, I
from
know.
basically
Yeah.
the moment they got, like, of course it's expensive, right? But like,
Why
when
would
the
they do
dab-
that?
I don't know. Like me, I didn't like just smoking weed in the middle of the day. Like I've never been a big fan of getting just trashed in the middle of the day. I like it at night when you're winding
Only
down.
on
you
certain
watch-
occasions.
Yeah, certain occasions, like you're at the beach or something, you get a little fucking stoned, you go hang out in the
I don't
water.
like that. The sun zaps everything out of me.
Well, for me, I do like it. But there's it was like $45 for 500 milligrams of Vidabinol. And 1 tablespoon is probably like 15 milligrams, 20 or something like that. Whatever it is, it's not much. But you have 1 tablespoon, you're fucking lit. Like you're high.
Yeah, so I'm saying
like
you could
2
spend
hours.
$45 on like regular THC, whether it's gummies
Yeah.
or Dabanol or whatever, and it's gonna last you like if you're a casual person,
Last you
could
a
probably
month.
last you a month. Like
If
if you
you're-
want
and that's like-
if you want to do Delta-8 like that, like and actually
yeah.
get like high, like you're gonna be spending a lot of money, dude. Like
How much were you doing?
how much am I doing?
Yeah, at a
Like,
time.
well, I can't do it all the time, so it's not like
Yeah,
Well,
but
I can't do it all the
what's your-
time either.
How much do you do?
But here
like,
I am.
But like, how much do you do during like a normal session? You doing
Oh,
50
like
to 100?
50.
50.
Like,
okay.
it's usually like 25. If like I did like I've been experimenting with just like different like do 25 to help me go to bed. The most I took was last Saturday, and I took probably like 125.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
and I was good. I was toasted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
took-
Like you're good.
like I took 3 initially, and then I took 2 like an hour and a half later, just because I knew I was like, oh, I just want to keep it going for another 2 hours or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And then that's the thing is like, I wish it was, if you take like 150, 200 at once, you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
You'll be fucking good to go.
I think
But
next time that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
I
I'm
asked,
not doing
like-
that. I'm scared to do
just-
that.
I mean, it will be over,
No, I know it'll be. I'm just scared. But hey, Dan, anyways, when I was sitting there, I was listening to your and Sean's conversation about the what did you want to
stimulus
get,
money?
the amp or the
The
couch?
amp
check?
or the couch. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your input?
My input
Mm-hmm. What were you thinking, at least at the time?
at the time, I was thinking, man, you shouldn't buy either of these.
Oh, okay.
Because
What
to
was
me, it
why?
was just like, because how often are you going to sit on the couch?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
It's like, what do you mean?
every fucking day.
Okay. And like, how much you really need that expensive of an amp?
Well, I'm not talking about spending like an extreme, like all of the stimulus money on that.
Well, that's what it sounded like, because Sean was like, hey, why don't you split it between a couch and an amp? And you were like, I really need to get this kind of amp that doesn't have the whatever.
Well, I'm okay. So you spend $1,000 on a couch, like that'll get you an okay couch. That'll get you a pretty decent couch.
Yeah, that's like a
So-
brand new couch. I thought you were going to
No.
go to like the Goodwill and buy like $100 couch.
Fuck
Nah, maybe. Nah, maybe. I mean, if it's a nice couch. in
Hey,
there,
listen,
I'll
I got a
do it.
beautiful couch at old furniture. Well, not an old, but like used furniture store.
Yeah. They have to clean it and shit, I'm sure, before they
Yeah,
sell
well,
it.
Listen, man, if you get it from like an old person,
Mm-hmm.
how often do you people sit? Like, I never sit on my couch really.
Where do you sit when you're at home?
Well,
just
I'll sit
squats
on the
on the
couch if
floor.
I'm watching movies,
He
but
just squats in front of the TV like,
Like-
an animal.
like I'm just not in the couch all like I don't know like it's,
Well, see, as a couch connoisseur, my couch is okay. It's just not good. It's fine for me. I just like get like a little more. It's concerned about when people come over. So like I could either buy a couple beds, and all this stuff.
I would do something else, man. Buy the amp if you're gonna do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't really need a bed right now. My bed is just not, it's not great. It's fine though.
Well, get a
Um,
mattress. That's always a great thing.
That's what I'm saying. A mattress. I could get
Yeah.
a new mattress.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
do
get-
that. That'll help
you
you out a lot.
I would get
But
a new
that-
mattress. Yeah.
That's too much money. It's like,
Dan, you
That's- you know
sleeping
what?
in every day is the most important thing to you.
yeah,
I want
but
a new
it's not
Michael,
mattress.
like-
'cause
Michael,
my mattress.
you've never slept in Dan's bed. Like
It's-
Dan, when you go stay at Dan's house, if it's just the two of you, he's gonna force you to sleep in his bed like he's doing you a favor.
I am. It's
It's
better than my
fucking-
couch.
It's a real shit bag move.
It-
All right, well, Dan, go buy like a $900 mattress.
yeah,
Like
I
a
know.
real
but then-
nice mattress.
Well, I was looking at the Casper mattresses
Okay, how much are they?
for a queen size. It's a
That's pretty big.
600 for a queen,
Mhm.
but it's a platform bed. So it's that type of bed that you it comes rolled up and whatever,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and then you let the air in and
Yeah,
about-
I had
it's
one of
about-
those.
You can
Yeah.
find if you don't want to go the Casper brand. There's plenty of other.
I bought mine
Well,
off of Costco.
I mean, that's what we
Yeah.
got.
Oh, you had
Foster's.
Casper?
Yeah.
And where is it? Where's your
Well,
bed?
it was too small because I only bought
A
the
twin?
one down from a queen.
The full? You got a
The
full?
full because I was like a single dude. I was like, why the hell do I need a queen? I'm not gonna waste.
Right.
So and that was like the nicest mattress I ever bought. Loved it. Favorite one ever.
Really?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally
I'm
worth
thinking
it.
about I'm thinking about doing that. You know,
I
what
would
so
buy
that
it.
would cost me 600.
I mean, Dan,
Or clean.
you slept in this house before, like in the guest bed. That's like a $250 mattress, $300 mattress.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
and it's not
My-
the greatest one in the world, but it's fucking better than your bed. I can tell you that
Yeah,
much.
my bed's like been beat to fuck. It's like it's like a third hand me down.
What do you do when girls come over?
I fuck them, dude? They don't give a fuck about
Do
the
you
bed.
fuck on the couch?
Hell no, couch, fucking in the bed. Yeah, you know. I take them in there. The lights are off. They never know when they jump on that cardboard. Fuck, bah, you know.
Yeah, do you just have like an old mattress?
Yeah, it's a beat to shit, man. It was a hand me down from a friend. He gave me like years ago.
It's like an old school one now.
No.
spring mat. It's a spring mattress.
It's a spring, yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Whatever it
spring
is, it's awful. It's just
yeah, it's like there's a dip.
sleeping on rocks.
Like it's like sleeping, but like the worst part is there's a giant dip in one side, and it's like you can't really get comfortable. It's pretty awful. But I don't know. It just seems like a waste of money. Sometimes I think about it. I'm like, what? Like I sleep? Yeah, I sleep.
Dan,
You know?
I would much rather you get that than a couch.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, so if I get the $600 thing, probably have to buy a platform bed type thing. That'll cost me another $100. It'd be about $750 for one bed.
Yeah. Trust me, you'll love it.
And I think that might be something I do with it, which mine's already in my bank account or ready to be deposited. My Stimmy.
Yeah, a lot of people's.
Mine is not.
We can't.
Yeah.
Not all banks show you that it's there. It depends on the type of bank you have or whatever.
Oh.
But apparently, yeah, a lot of them already went through this weekend.
Yeah, mine's gonna be on the
clear.
17th.
Clear the 17th. I think that's a lot of people. It's like the 17th. So
Yeah, which
Wow.
means everyone will be getting theirs so soon. It's like, like they could actually garnish this one though.
What do you mean
So if
garnish it?
So like if you didn't pay like your taxes last year, they can take money from this and pay off your taxes from last year.
really,
Yeah.
That's
government's
the
gonna
difference
get
between
that
Biden
money.
and Trump.
Trump wouldn't do that.
Trump wouldn't do that to us. I think the stimulus check, I don't know how to feel about it, but we're getting it, so
Yeah.
fucking shit.
Well, that's the thing. It's like we could argue and disagree or whatever until we're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like it's happening.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
What are you
Well,
gonna do with it?
$1,400
I think you should get a jet ski, dude. Actually, how many kids? Don't you have like 50 kids in that house? Like, dude, you're
No,
basically a
3.
millionaire. You never work again.
Yeah, and how much is it per kid?
14.
So you guys are getting both
Well,
your
hopefully, I
all
don't
three
know.
of
I'll
your-
believe it when it comes in.
You should get the max. You guys should get the max.
Well, I haven't filed my taxes yet, so
Yeah, but
Anya's-
she
my
Shouldn't
daughter's
matter.
never actually been. I'm filing on Monday.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter because as long as you're on file last year.
Yeah, but
No,
they have a
she
different
wasn't.
situation. Yeah.
Well,
it's
Maritza
different.
wasn't.
No, the baby wasn't.
Oh, well then maybe you won't get one for the baby. I don't know how that works actually.
Yeah, I don't know. My tax guy's gonna handle it. Do you guys already do taxes?
Yeah, we do.
Holy
it
crap! Really?
We do it right away because our stuff's so simple and streamlined. Like we just go.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
What about
Sarah's
you, Jen?
also
I
Sarah's
don't
very
have any
organized,
taxes
so.
to do.
Or you'll have something with your house now.
What do I got to do?
I don't know. There's something with like property taxes and
You might
stuff.
want to look into that, man.
I should. I don't.
No,
I
you
don't
have an
think I-
escrow. They should. I don't. Well, they're gonna send you a form like a
Yeah,
1098.
but I already I had to pay
No, I don't.
taxes already.
I
Like for the first year as part of. I don't know. I'll talk to the
because I think
lender.
once you own a house, you gotta like. I don't know if you have to pay anything, but you just gotta
Well,
file
I
it.
might. Yeah, maybe I do. I'll hit my lender up and figure it out. Do that Monday or something. But I think it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't think I'll get anything back for having a house, but Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. You know how the
Um,
government is, dude. They want a fucking little piece of everything you have. They don't care.
I'm so scared to do taxes
Why?
Why?
because most of the time I end up owing stuff.
How? Well, I mean, I guess because you've worked as a person, a private
Yeah,
contractor, so that's why. Yeah.
and I don't like it.
Yeah,
That's why I just don't
but
like doing it.
but you haven't done much of that this year, have you?
No, but it's just I like yeah. It's just I don't know if I'll owe anything. I just never know. It's just kind of shitty. I just don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
One time I had to pay for Obamacare. It was like, fuck.
Oh, they made you, huh?
Yeah,
How
Yeah,
much was it?
I had to do it when
I
you
think it
you
was
paid the
like six
penalty,
hundred
right?
bucks or something.
Yeah, you paid the penalty, and then that went up every year.
Yeah,
You
but I
didn't
That's
have
didn't
so
it.
have that kind of
gross.
money Dan at the time.
No, I know. That's so gross. Like it's supposed to be for poor people, but it's fucking poor, like people who don't make a lot of money. It
Well,
made
it's
no
because
sense.
the penalty is less than the fucking insurance. Even at the
Maybe.
even at the higher end of when the penalty. So the first year it was like $50, second year it's like
Yeah, but
600,
how much
and
did
then
it
after
cost?
that it's like 2,000.
But Obamacare wasn't free,
No, that's what I said. What I'm
right?
saying is to pay the penalty, if you're a person,
Yeah.
and you can either pay for Obamacare or you could pay the penalty. The penalty was cheaper than Obamacare. So so you're not
Yes.
incentivized to actually get the insurance because what you're going to pay out ends up being less in penalties than it is if you actually got the health care.
That's
Right.
what I was
Yeah.
told.
Yeah. Like so, you might as well take the $600 hit versus I don't know $3,000 over the year or whatever it
Yeah,
ended
and
would
that's
end up
and
being.
that's how a lot of people felt about it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
I think it was kind of really gross. That is a gross
well, they
abuse
forced the
of
states.
government of power.
Yeah,
It's abuse.
the
It's
federal
just fine.
government literally went to each state and said, either you do this or you will affect the federal money you get.
Yeah.
South Carolina held out for years, and then they
Yeah.
finally caved. Like the last 2 years, Obamacare was a thing, and that's the 2 years I end up having to pay out of
Yeah.
my tax returns.
That's some crazy shit, man. I'm really glad I got to miss that, but it is pretty fucking. I don't see how the federal government can make you do something.
No, it's
Like,
completely. It was
well,
completely
it's the same thing
not
with
on the up and
concept
up.
of taxes. They force they take your money. That's what they do. They take it.
Yeah,
Hate it.
I mean, and at gunpoint, the government does
Yeah.
it at gunpoint, at
Yeah.
threat of being thrown in jail
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
for
No,
not paying your
it's
taxes.
force. They have the monopoly on force in the situation, and they say, you don't pay your taxes, you're going to jail.
Yeah, it's just fucked up, dude. Who the fuck? Like, I don't know. I ask myself that a lot. Like, what is freedom, and like, do we actually have it?
No.
And how much? How did the founding fathers think it was going to turn out? I guess like, what was their ideal society? Could they ever really imagine there would be like 300 million people in the United States and all these states and all these differing opinions? But the whole idea of like the federal government was to be limited in scope, and it's gotten too big, man. It's gotten way too big.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe we should all split up. Maybe the country should split. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it would end up being kind of a logistical nightmare.
And then
Why?
there'd be wars.
Yeah, then
Fought in the soil.
Yeah, there would be no incentive not to like actually go to war with each other over trade tariffs or something.
Well, no, there would definitely.
Or if you're like,
Why?
what if you are like a part of the country that's just like not like resource rich? Then what the
Right.
fuck are you gonna do?
Like fucking Alabama. What if we're like Floridians are like, let's go take over fucking Alabama.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Then we just march right the fuck up there.
well, let's
we
say
take over Alabama,
You
Dan.
did like you
Next
did,
thing you know, we got fucking Alabama, and then we go to Georgia. Okay.
yeah, you could.
Keep
But
going.
the thing about resources in America is like, well, like Texas and Alaska would have a lot of the oil, and
Yeah.
they would be able to control it.
So they would
there
basically
it becomes your bartering trade,
Yeah, but they
bartering
would-
trade, dude.
they'd become like de facto kings of the United States because
Yeah,
they're going to
what's the
control.
difference between
a precious-
Amazon, Facebook,
Well, in the coastline.
Twitter?
What do you mean? What's the difference?
What's the difference? They
hell are
are
you talking
kings. They're kings.
Not the same way. Like if you constructed this weird
The
split
coastlines would be
are you
huge.
gonna say-
countries thing.
Are you gonna say the way information is disseminated is not like a resource or
Yeah.
powerful?
These are we're
Tool?
talking about two completely different things. I'm talking about oil. And you're
Yeah,
talking
and
about fucking
No,
Amazon.
you're talking about
like,
the power they would have.
well, the
the
power
power-
they would,
people.
the power.
Like, tell me how
oil,
there's any difference.
Oil would be way different. It's way different because you don't need to shop at Amazon. Like nobody needs to do that.
Yeah, but like if
But, like,
Amazon is the
You heat
But,
your
like,
house
okay,
with oil. You
Walmart.
drive your car. Like
or Walmart or
No,
any
but
of
Dan,
these
you could just start your own fucking little store. You can't just start an oil thing.
Well, it's not about necessarily. Well, maybe you could. I doubt you could. But
Why?
I'm saying, as far as like oil, yeah, that's what you would use to trade. But like, what do you think it's any different now?
if you ended up in a state in a country, if we split the United States up, if you're in a country that doesn't have access like innately, naturally to those resources, and then that other country, say like Texas is part of the other country, we're part of zone 1, they're in zone 2. What if zone 2 has a problem with somebody in the leadership of zone 1? They say, well, if we get you some oil, but it's gonna
Well, how do you
cost
think
a
it
lot of
works in
money.
the rest of the world?
Yeah, and then
That's
they
how
have
it
wars.
Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, it's fucking sucks.
Look at Africa.
No, it's not necessarily. I mean, it depends on how you look at things, like in a macro sense, not in the micro. Like in the macro of like the ability for like Saudi Arabia, will they keep us quote unquote honest because they can fluctuate the prices, the gas prices and like all that shit.
Yeah.
And that's just normal between but like, let's say California then made a deal with Saudi Arabia and they said, hey, we'll give you our technology for free or whatever, and you just give us oil. So like California would have to learn to negotiate with other countries or other regions if they were having a problem. It would be the same thing that's happening right now all throughout the world.
You don't think that's going to create, because we all share like this landmass in the same way that they do like in the Middle East and in Europe. Like that's why there's all those kind of problems.
Well, I mean,
They're always fighting.
Because then you're going to have conflicts of interest like on the same landmass with other foreign agents, other foreign actors.
Yeah.
Like, and they're going to be incentivized to fuck with the other zones. We'll call them zones just for the sake of conversation. Like to undermine them constantly.
that
It would
is happening-
constantly go in circles.
That happens already in the United States. So
Well,
the federal
but there's not
government
actual
comes in.
physical war.
Yes, there is. Yes, not physical, not necessarily physical. But what I'm saying is like the federal government comes in as its own entity and forces Obamacare on everybody. If like South Carolina held out, well, fuck you, you're not getting. How's that any different? We already do it. Like they were like withholding resources and money from these states that was hurting its citizenry.
What?
The federal government.
Yeah, no, I heard. I'm very confused about like this analogy that
it already exists.
So what? So make it worse?
We have the United States of America. These states follow their own rules and their own laws. They just have to follow the overarching law, the Constitution, supposed to anyway.
Yeah, but they each don't have like their own little armies.
Yeah, yes, they do. It's called the National Guard. Yes, they do. Those
but
are
the National Guard is what? It's national. It's not for each little state.
Yes, it is.
It's the they're well, Dan, come on. Now you're being that's like semantic. Like they're
semantics,
there to deploy.
You're gonna I'm sorry. They are the National Guard is for that particular state. That is who the governor controls that National Guard.
You got National Guard out in fucking Utah?
Yes.
You got all the states have one.
Every single state have army. The reserves are federal troops. So those are federal. Those people cannot go during extreme emergency conditions, like emergency situations. They don't get activated. Okay. So like when Hurricane Katrina happened, that was the Louisiana National Guard. Yes, and they can pull from other states as well.
But they are a national resource where during times of emergencies and stuff like that, they pull from wherever they could have to pull from. But they're activated by the governors of the state, but they're still like under a national umbrella. And
no, they're not. No. The governor has to send them. So like Washington, D.C., the governor had to authorize them to go to D.C. and to give them orders to go there.
Of course they do.
And then they rescinded those orders and they went back. The federal government could not make them stay.
I didn't say the federal government did anything. I'm just saying like they are a national resource, usually during times of tragedy, Katrina or hurricanes, natural disasters. Like they pull the governors, whether or not it's under the tutelage of each individual governor. It's still they have access to each other. They're allowed to do that.
No.
They're not allowed to help each other out. Other states.
No, they are, but it's under. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like
No, Dan's just saying that at the final say, the states would have control
yeah,
over them.
they do.
Yeah,
That's it.
I
No,
don't
only
disagree with that.
the only other time is when they go on active duty or active series orders. When they get deployed, they are considered to be under the federal government. So like they can switch their orders from being guard, they become active duty while they're deployed for 6 months. And then they get discharged from active duty after their deployment to get back into the National Guard. It's complicated, I know, but that's how it works. Because the only time the federal government can issue them orders is when they are under active duty orders.
Sure.
Under active series orders. So like it's not the National Guard is there to defend the state. That's or into like emergencies in that particular state.
Yes.
And yes, you know, like California and the wildfires. My buddy is from Wyoming, and he is part of air crew, and he hopped on airplanes to drop, you know, water and like the flame retardant stuff on the plants or what. You know what I mean? Like he was out there doing that as an assistant.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what is this? How does this work into the analogy of that we already have standing armies in states?
We do.
Like, I mean,
That's
but
what
they're
they
not.
are.
Yeah, but okay.
Well, that is what they are. That's what they were designed. That is what
I
it's
understand that, but
it's
you
posse comitatus.
but you don't think that like, and the crazy hypothetical thing we've been talking about, that paradigm would be completely different. Like, it's not it wouldn't be the same thing anymore. It's not like a one-to-one thing.
Yeah, well, all I'm saying is like they already have a national army in each state. They're nationalized in their states. And if we decided to maybe diverge into like, I don't know how it would change. I'm just saying like, I don't think it would change too much or too drastically because we kind of already have it. It would just be like, okay, we don't want to like deal with California and their interpretation anymore, you know, of the law or whatever. It could be bad. I'm not saying it's not bad, but from a structural standpoint, I don't think we would be like starting wars and shit. Like, look at Europe.
Be way weaker.
We might be weaker though. I could agree to that. Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, on the national or not the global stage, we would be for sure.
Well, I mean, like it would be like a unification thing during like great times if like one of us got attacked.
No,
yeah,
I don't want this. I don't want this. Dan.
You see the governors of these fucking states, how they've behaved over the past year. You trust these people to go into the best interests of anything that would be like a practical solution?
No, I don't want it.
No, I don't.
I mean,
think
Governor
so.
Whitmer, you'd have people trying to go into fucking Michigan in Zone 4, and she'd be shooting them at the border because she's worried they have COVID.
Maybe.
And they'd be like, "Hey, we have to protect our borders."
Well, they can
protect their borders,
do that.
dude.
I mean, technically, that can be done already. You can shut down borders of states. I mean, I don't know how constitutional it is, but they did it in New
Imagine
York.
if you were in a
York City.
if you were in a dystopian zone region, how much easier it would be because you'd be kings and queens out there.
Okay. What's your solution to the great strife in America then? Like, why would we not? What would be the upsides?
My solution, I don't know, because I guess if I knew I was talking about this, maybe I would have thought of something or at least tried. But I don't think splitting the country up into like 4 sections.
I don't want to do that.
Would be
then I can't.
Yeah, but like, what would be the potential upsides of it?
What? I don't doing it.
Well, yeah. What are the upsides of it?
Well, what happens if like you could?
What's the difference between that and now and being able to just move to a state where you share the values of that state more? I guess move there.
Yeah, you can. And I'm not saying, but like, what happens if like California, they're the 5th largest GDP in the world. They're their own country.
Yeah.
Basically. And the amount of power that they have, you could argue is unbalanced. It's not necessarily fair because they drive the tech industry. They allow these tech industries to become big and there's so much power like these. And that's kind of what I was referring to as saying is like Amazon, Facebook, like they are the kings. They are like the government can't do anything to them. They won't.
Hey Dan, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Jeff Bezos thinks he's a god?
Maybe.
Do you think like when you get that powerful, like I was thinking in my head, I was like, if I got that rich as Jeff Bezos, you know how hard it would be to keep your ego in check?
You just don't, yeah. You just
Just
become
Because
God.
Dan, you can do whatever you want.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally, yeah.
Anything
much.
you want to do, you can do.
Except
Literally.
piss off your wife, then she takes half your fortune.
Yeah, but even then,
And
it doesn't matter. It didn't.
She married a teacher, a science teacher, a high school
That guy
science teacher.
lucked. That guy lucked the
And
fuck
he's
out.
not a good looking dude. God, he must have a huge dong. Big
But
old
you
dong.
could do whatever you wanted to do. Whatever.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, that is the question, I guess. When people get too much power, you know, we see it with people in our government. We see it with, you know, people of industry. They abuse shit and they get away with it,
Sure.
like, constantly.
Anybody in like the human history that's ever been in a position of authority or power could have abused it. I mean, it happens constantly.
Yeah, but, like, I'm saying, like, could you be... Do you think the power corrupts them, or are they already, like, bad people?
It's probably a little bit of both. I mean, it's probably very easy to have your point of view shifted in a way that you rationalize these kind of decisions. Nobody thinks they're the bad guy, right? Like nobody thinks they're
like
doing
Louis
something
CK.
wrong. They think
Harvey
they're
Weinstein.
Yeah. Yeah, those ladies, I mean, they were entitled to their attention, to the for the Matrix.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just you start thinking of the world in a different way. Like Bill Gates. Does Bill Gates does he think he's a demon? No. Like, but what does he think he's doing? He's like, yeah, but I gotta save the world. So yeah, do I have to get into eugenics and population control and giving you vaccines with chips in them or whatever? I don't know. Like if he's doing those things, he thinks he's doing it for like a noble reason. Like it's completely like insane.
Oh, it's like the Kingsman.
What, like Sam Jackson's character?
Yeah. Like,
have
you seen the Kingsman, Michael?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's a pretty good movie.
No, but that would be an example of that. Somebody that's like a megalomaniac, like an egomaniac, and they think like, oh fuck, like this is my kind of pet thing. It's the most important thing. I'm trying to save the fucking world. Like, of course, we're gonna have to do some evil shit. Somebody's got to do it. I'll do it. I have the strength of will to be able to live with myself after I've eradicated 40% of the population. Come at me.
Yeah.
That's a quote from Bill Gates, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, he said, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just don't think there's an answer that I feel like would be better unless we can, why would we not want some sort of like a divorce almost, you know? But like we are still a country and stuff, but I don't believe, and this is the problem that we're heading into. Look, like HR-8, this new gun control law that they're like trying to pass through. It's going to affect every person in this country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like look at the immigration stuff we got going on. The quote unquote the crisis that we have at the border right now, all due to who's ever is in charge. It's like it's a dumb system. Like I don't know. Like is this what we should be doing? Like letting someone like Joe Biden comes in. And he's just like, fuck it, we're opening the borders. Like, we're just going to fucking let people in. We're just not going to care anymore.
Yeah, but this is the same kind of logic that led people to say, like, insane shit when Trump was the president. Because they're like, this isn't working anymore. I don't like this. This is not working. This is not what I wanted. This is not what I signed up for.
Has it ever worked, I guess, is it really working the way it was designed? I mean, that's basically what I was saying.
Probably not as super originally intended, right? Because it was much more kind of straightforward. And now it's so complex and so complicated. Like to even understand it requires a college education, and it's probably shouldn't take that to like really actually understand the.
The thing that blows my mind.
I don't even understand how it all works.
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I mean
just every like in the it's so. There's so many things.
Well, okay, it's this simple. It's like this is the problem where you look at religion, government, or anything like. We got the Bill of Rights, and we added on to that through you know the last couple hundred years, of course. But how complicated is it? Like the First Amendment, you have the right to say what you want, however you want, as long as you know, quote unquote, don't make a call to action. Right? I mean, it doesn't necessarily say that, obviously, in the Constitution. But Second Amendment, like you live in New York, you can't own a gun. It's damn near impossible. Like those states can restrict you further. Like, how did we get to this point? And it's
because that's like, I mean, a state, I guess, has the I'd rather it be a state issue than a federal issue, frankly.
But that's the thing. But if they pass it at a federal level,
No, that's always
like
it's always a problem.
Obamacare,
There's always a problem when something like gets at the federal level that's supposed to be a nationwide project. It's never works out well. It never works out the way it's supposed to. It's always a shit show because it's too broad. It casts too broad of a net. Each state and the people in each state like have their kind of individual lifestyles, needs, wants, desires, and that's why it should be best left up to the states to deal with all of this kind of shit. But the federal government, just every chance they get, they'll just take a little bit more, getting into other avenues. I mean, this started in earnest in like the 70s when it got really started getting crazy. I mean, I guess you can make the argument it's been going on forever because it's a slow creep. It's like incremental, but
I don't know. I think it would be better that if we have to figure out, I think, a solution that is fair for this stuff, for what's going on in our country. Because if they pass this gun law that says like you can't own AR-15s anymore, like you can't own that.
Yeah.
Like that would be like, because there was an AR-15 ban in the 90s and it got overturned. I guess they found it to be unconstitutional. Like, and our Supreme Court has shown that it's a failure too. Like every system that is supposed to be there to protect the people has basically failed.
Well, because it's
in
only
the last year or two.
It's only as strong as the will of the people to enshrine it, ensure that it's actually being followed. Like that is, and I don't know, but some of the stuff is just I don't think people even know how to do that. Like, what does it mean to actually do that? That's something I think about all the time. Like, how does it, like, what can you actually do as an activist or something if you want to be like a pro Second Amendment person or even a pro free speech person? Like, if you even try to touch that stuff, you're smeared and demonized and it gets fucking crazy and you get unpersoned from the internet and it's just like crazy shit like that. And like, I don't even like, what is an effective tool to ensure those things? Because we've talked about this before. It is kind of bullshit. It's a little all illusory. Like the sense of freedom we have is not like the dictionary definition of freedom. It's kind of a game. It's a balancing game. And, I don't know. Like I said, most of it's like illusory. It's just like an illusion. It's not really there, but you feel like you have. You feel like you have it, but it's exactly. The cum simulation, the cum matrix. I made a couple deposits today, my boys. High five.
Hey, God bless you. God bless you, dude. God bless you.
Got to keep the circuits running.
But there's just no the answer. I believe should be pretty simple, and I think the best way to do it, in my opinion, is just like make the positions that we hold within our government basically worthless. Like make it so where you can't make money, you can't invest in the stock market, you can't do things like you are there as a public servant. You should not be making more, or you should not be making more than your social worker. Maybe like $60,000-$70,000 a year.
Should be a civic duty, right? Like it should be a civic duty. It's not something you get into to become rich.
Or okay, how about this? Like you join the government, you can't work for any other companies outside of that are like can't work for a defense contractor or like some fucking bank or some shit. And then you have all these inside deals because that's what's going on. You look at this last bill, dude, there's just like shit in there for the next 10 years. It was like 9-10% of it had only to do with COVID. Like that's it. It's some stupid shit. I don't know. I'm sick and tired of the people in our government just being so fucking slimy.
Well, they're slimy and they're worthless. They don't do anything. Like this is like we live in the era of grandstanding. It's just like everybody gets out there and grandstand. Everybody gives the big speech. Hey, we're gonna bring you into the Senate. We're gonna ask you questions. Silicon Valley people.
It's always been that way,
and they ask them fucking questions and nothing comes of it. Nothing happens. Who the fuck other than news junkies are watching those fucking things in the afternoon? Nobody. Like you got to be a fucking weirdo like me and Dan. Sit there and watch that shit for 5 hours.
Honestly, I don't even know where to find it.
Good,
man.
You're good, buddy. Don't even worry about it. You're not missing anything.
That's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't even know how people even find
everything
that.
is getting so out of control. It's so fucked right now. I mean, just another like example of like the weirdness of the current state of the government. I mean, you have like the fucking a representative from the from the Pentagon talking about Tucker Carlson, and then you have like
Well, yeah, that
official.
was U.S. Space Command guy. Yeah.
Dude, and then companies like ESPN.
Well, can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine a world and where like if somebody from like Trump's cabinet like commented on like the negative effect that like Rachel Maddow was having on the country?
Dude, they did that shit, dude. They fucking talked about that. Come on, man.
Who?
I mean, everyone.
In
Everyone was
official
talking.
government?
An official? No, I'm talking about somebody from like the military. Like, I mean, this is not like.
Well, I mean, they still have
that
their freedom of speech.
he
You can still kind of say shit like that.
Well, not if it wasn't it like an official statement from the Pentagon?
No, well, he was the U.S. Space Command somewhere. I
Sent
saw
on
it.
government letterhead? I mean,
No, it was a video
represent-
I saw. I didn't know he sent a letter. I just saw a
I
video.
don't know. Okay.
I saw a video of the
Wow.
sergeant major talking.
Well, I could have my wires crossed.
Because Tucker Carlson basically said that like women serving pregnant like degrades performance of military, like isn't this supposed to be about, you know, like protecting our country and making sure we're the strongest, best military. He brought up women in it, and like this fucking dude went on a rant about how, you know, this is fucking wrong. I actually served in the military. Like, you never served, why are you talking? Which I don't like that shit. It can be annoying sometimes, but you know.
So is it being blown out of proportion? Is it some nobody that said it, or should people be concerned that you're like, why are you commenting on like what a fucking Tucker Carlson is saying? Like, aren't you a little bit above that?
Well, there's nothing.
They've just gotten a tons of hate from it. Like, it's not like people aren't like mad at Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
people are mad at the government, and then they're mad at like the official like Marine Corps Twitter or whatever.
Yeah,
something like calling somebody out. And then the person had to be like, no, I actually served and I was pregnant when I served, but that's not the point Tucker Carlson was making. He was just talking about combat readiness and effectiveness. Right. And it really had nothing to do with anything. He would just use it to illustrate a point.
Yeah. I think he basically stated that like you would not send a pregnant woman to a battlefield. Like,
yes,
you know, basically is what he alluded to. And this guy took issue with this, which the wokeness has been infiltrating our military. And like, I was just talking to my buddy recently, and he works for Target. And I told him to go to Project Veritas, you know. I want to just, you know, that's what I told him. But it basically, he was telling me that, you know, every year you do your performance report, right? Yeah. And then, you know, at the beginning of each year, you have to do your goals, right? Your goals for the year, basically. It's company policy. I have no idea. And this year, he said it was different because they actually wrote them their own set of goals. The company did.
Yeah.
Like they came. This is the first time he's like, this is super weird. They gave us our goals. And like one of the first goals he told me about was if you are like looking for people to like replace people in your job, they have to be black or female.
Dude, tell them to fucking take a picture of that and send it to you. Get a picture of it.
Okay. But yeah, there's that and other things like
you want to make it big time? You want this podcast to make money? We could be breaking news.
I know, dude. I know. But they also, which is really interesting, is he said, and he works in the asset protection department of like, you know, this certain company. And he usually on average, like he's like, yeah, you know, we got to fire people all the time because they stole some food, some headphones, some whatever. The company won't allow him to basically call the police on African Americans unless they become violent. Like he's like, if they hit like a violent level, then you can call the police, but you're not allowed to. And the only person he's been allowed to call, because he has to like, before, if you caught someone stealing, you know, you go talk to them. The police are on their way. You know what I mean? Like,
well, most places have a policy of like anything under $25, they don't call the police.
Right. Or it's like, yeah, if you steal like bread.
If you steal like a soda or a fucking, I don't know, a book or something, or a dress, a shirt, they're probably not going to call the police. They're just going to take it.
But he's being told from his leadership to not arrest black people, basically, or not to call the police on black people. That can make crimes.
Well, how
and like his supervisor told him, he goes, well, how do you know that guy didn't steal those? You know, I iPods or whatever to like feed his family.
Okay, sure.
And
He's wearing them in the back.
and all the I guess like the president is super lefty,
Yeah.
like guy, and he was put out a memo to the company being like, they may have burned our stores down, but like basically because they caused them over $100 million worth of damage. They burned down like a couple targets, like
yeah.
on average each target is $32 million worth of merchandise in each store.
You mean that's just how much is the whole building and everything?
Yeah, the building, everything in
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's about 32 million. And they destroyed, I think he said 3 of them in the United States.
Probably, yeah. I mean, it is called Target. You like how I did that?
Yeah, I do. But
I
don't know, man.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, I don't know. I mean, as far as that goes, because I think I know what you're talking about, and I know it depends on what somebody steals. I guess is it even worth?
Well, I mean, actually, the largest people who steal from Target are the workers.
No, I know that's everywhere.
Those are like the greatest, people. Like he's constantly having to do
that's
whatever.
Literally every store in the country.
Oh, and something that happened. So like, I guess there's like the way it works. If you are in like a certain career path in Target, they give you a bonus every year, right? You get a bonus, and then blah blah blah. Well, like he saw, because he's one of the more higher up people, how all the bonuses were going to be divvied up, and he was like getting ready to do what he had to do to input it in the computer, whatever. And then he gets like an update. And there was this African American woman, and like the higher ups at Target just took money from everybody else. Yeah. Like took a bunch of money from everyone's bonuses and gave it all to the African American. Like that's the identity politics. Like that's what they're doing. So they're just taking, it's like, oh, your bonuses, nah, you actually don't deserve that much. This person needs more.
You mean that person got more of a bonus because they were black? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. They took from everybody else.
How come there's only one black person in the store that's on the career? No, hold on. That's on the career path, Dan. This is racism. Okay.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what
you
they're
whiteys,
looking at.
You fucking crackers better pay up.
The question is this, like, is that going to work? Is this really going to work? What
do you mean?
Like, is this type of idea going to work?
Stoked.
Yeah, she's probably fucking happy as shit. While fucking, the government says she's oppressed.
Sorry, Jamie.
Yeah. Sorry for that.
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if that's true, I guess I don't know what the specific details are. If you were just to take it as it is, just surface level, that's not a great thing to do. If everybody expects a certain bonus, everybody's working towards and they're doing a job, then obviously that's wrong if that's the reasons why they would do that.
Well, like, because he used to know exactly how much he was going to get in a bonus every year. I believe this is what he said. And then they started hiding it so they could do things like that.
Well, yeah, that, and also to incentivize you because you don't know what your bonus is going to be. So you could be well, if you work harder, man, maybe you get a bigger bonus,
Yeah, maybe.
That's true.
Well, did you guys hear what ESPN did?
Oh, to Pat McAfee? Yeah.
They sent a memo to all the reporters that work for ESPN and basically saying they weren't allowed to go on this Pacific talk show.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee's been getting a lot of heat because he's just different.
Well, he's kind of like a no bullshit kind of guy, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
And so basically ESPN sent out a memo saying that they're not allowed to go on the show.
Okay.
But it's just kind of like, and why they don't want him on the show is because Pat McAfee will expose a lot of just truths about sports, and just the dirty,
the bureaucracy behind the scenes bullshit about sports. They'll talk about that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So is ESPN what makes him? Does that make him controversial, or is he made statements about Colin Kaepernick or something like that?
No, I think they just don't I think it's just controversial within
I mean, for ESPN to do a blanket thing, I would imagine it would have to do with something that's socio-political rather than just exposing.
Well, it may.
Like he wasn't like did he speak out against like football players kneeling during the national anthem? Is it
No.
something like that? No, it's not.
No.
Okay.
No. I think it's more of
Well,
the
because
danger of him doing something like that.
well, because like if he's exposing say behind the scenes stuff, and then ESPN anchors and journalists and stuff talk to him, that could put ESPN in a bad light, and then whoever they want access to people, right? Their whole business is interviews and stuff like that.
Well, that's
But
what
what
he
if
said. He
yeah,
said it was because of business.
yeah, because if somebody got slighted by this dude, and then he was scheduled, whoever got slighted was scheduled for an ESPN interview, and and then the guy was just like, oh fuck that, you talk to this dude. This is the kind of people you truck with ESPN.
What's
I
up?
don't think so.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Well,
if
don't you
I
think
worked there, I would be like, fuck that. I would leave.
Well, did you see what he did to Hawani? Did you already talk
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, no,
did?
I haven't talked about that.
Oh, so like Ariel Hawani is a UFC guy, and probably one of the large. Would you say he's the largest? I would say he's probably the largest. Like
Yeah, probably now because of ESPN.
outside of like actually working for the UFC,
Yeah.
he is the largest commentator, and he fucking Pat McAfee calls him on air, and like FaceTimes him or whatever, and he goes, "Hey man," and he's like, and he starts talking to him. He's like, "Hey, just let you know you're on it." He's like, "I'm on air," and he like hangs up. Like that's how serious. Yeah, he just hangs up instantly. He's like, and then.
But Sean wanted to know why they were doing that. Did Pat McAfee? Not to my knowledge, he didn't do anything like controversial, as far as like political.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Did he like go against because ESPN has kind of out in the open. They're very, I guess, quote unquote woke. So I was wondering if he had like talked shit about.
Well, he does talk about other.
Kneeling.
Okay, he talks about other commentators' contracts with like ESPN and Fox News.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna like that. Yeah,
and because they do a lot of like deals where, those guys are getting paid like 10, 12, 15 million a year. Some of those dudes, like some of the big ones. Yeah. And you don't really get to find out about it ever. Like he's like the only one that will report on it, things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta see who's a company man and who's not.
I guess I don't understand this. Like, I guess this, so I'm just reading a little bit about this. ESPN said, we didn't intend to ban ESPN guests from the show, and there is certainly no ban going forward. We are in the midst of figuring out the process for future guests to appear on outside platforms, and Pat will continue to make regular appearances on ESPN shows.
Oh,
well.
So there may have been.
I think the backlash of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's definitely it was a like sometimes
maybe he prank called the president of ESPN and he was so embarrassed he retracted his statement. He's like, "You will regret your words and deeds, sir."
Well, Pat McAfee was like a punter in the NFL and whatever. Then he started doing his show in his last couple years of the NFL, his podcast. And it was a pretty good. It's like he used to be pretty vulgar, I would say, before he had sponsors and like all this like ESPN or whoever he works with. Because now he's like a name. He's a household name.
He's making a lot of money.
But like as Michael was kind of saying, though, he's not afraid to get into the bullshit of the bureaucracy of the behind the scenes of how sports works, like it as a business. And that could be bad for people that ESPN wants access to for interviews and stuff. That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, because, why would you ban people from going on his show?
Because
that's what it makes.
Because they could be like, well, this is this person from ESPN, that person that has a problem with what this dude says. Like, fuck you. I'm not going to talk to you.
But Dan, a couple people did have problems with them.
Yeah.
Like Colin Cowherd. Because like they're jealous because he got like a lot of interviews with like Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers and him are like good friends. Like he goes on there for a half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, but like other commentaries have like called him out and like said he's done a horrible job.
Oh, so like Cowherd and Bayless and these types of dudes. So that's where your cabal of fortifying the election, you could say, of against Pat McAfee. It's just like,
but squeeze him out.
I can see that because that's the thing, though. I do believe the things like we've talked about this before. I think on air once, but we've talked about how that medium is dying. Like, I hate these 10-minute like faux, like I like
Mhm.
Brady and I hate Brady, or I think this team's gonna win. No, I
Yeah.
think this team's gonna.
Yeah,
And-
panel shows are
fabricated.
awful. Panel
And
shows are
Dan,
awful.
Yeah,
and you know what they're all doing? They're all starting a podcast, which is not really a
Yeah.
real podcast. It's just
well,
these
like I
big
know.
corporations sponsoring it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they just wear a t-shirt and jeans instead of a suit.
Yeah,
I mean, Michael, as you well know, my friend,
And sit on a sofa.
if you don't have a
Oh.
podcast, you basically don't have thoughts. That's the new way. In
Well, I
2021, we literally had to start a podcast because it was the law. I don't know if
Yeah.
people are aware of this.
Well, I think it's one of those defining moments where I hopefully we didn't get it. You know, it's going to take a long time for us, I think, you know, to really get better and to keep doing this. But like when you get someone like Shannon Sharp has a podcast now.
Yeah.
It's like something Sharp Contrast or bullshit. I can't remember. I saw some, but it's just like, what is this fucking guy? I listened to some of it. I was like, okay, I'll go check it out. And it's just Shannon Sharp, and that's fine.
Yeah,
but I
that's
don't-
what I mean.
but
It's
you're
the
just
same
like-
thing as the talk show. It's just them sitting on a sofa in their
Yeah.
living room.
Yeah, but they get to do it long form though.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the difference. Is like they're. I mean, although they're all kind of fucking pretty long form. I mean, some of these guys like is it Cowherd?
Cowherd, yeah, he'll go.
The one
for it.
that-
He's a radio show though. That's a
Yeah,
radio
Yeah, that's what I was
they'll
gonna
have
say.
breaks.
It's like that's like a radio show setup, but that feels a lot more like a podcast when you listen to it and hear it. It's just
Yeah, Rich
the
Eisen.
vibe of it.
Rich Eisen's probably my favorite of those guys because I think he's He's like the fairest.
Yeah,
Like he's just pretty much, you know, just a cool dude, just chill. Rich Eisen's the man. He's self-deprecating. He's funny. I like him.
they're all,
plus
but
he
they're all
loves
like all these sports commentator guys. They're all like fake alpha males. They all like have this this tough guy, but they're all these
Like,
weaselly little bitches.
what's-
But they all act so tough.
Who's the
But you
fucking
know that they're
black
little-
guy? Smith? AJ Smith? Something?
Oh, the one
Yeah,
that like Joe
the
Rogan
one that-
got into.
Well,
Yeah,
well, because
because of the UFC.
yeah, because like you know, it's like they're trying to get some of the other guys to
Dude,
commentate,
that guy-
and
The guy's
he
so
goes,
funny. Though.
you know, what I wanted to see was Conor McGregor. We didn't see nothing tonight, like basically, and Joe's like looking at him like, what the fuck? And then everyone was obviously talking shit, and then he posts this video of him punching shit. Oh my god, and it's awful. It's like he's like punching high
Yeah.
than like the dude's knees and shit.
I
Like,
think-
what is-
I think I think that guy's a little bit self-aware. He knows he's like a firebrand on ESPN. I used to watch him when I worked at the bar because ESPN would be on all the time.
yeah.
And he's the one that always goes. He was like the original like OG. I'm gonna start shit over race and shit like that. That's all I'm gonna talk about half the time.
Was it really? Was it him that
Yes,
started that?
it kind of started with him, but now he's kind of
It's
seems like he's
Sharp.
he's moved away from it a little bit. But he's always been like that. He's always been like he's a little cunty.
I Smith.
Hilarious fucking memes though.
Smith.
Oh,
the
I
fucking,
fucking hate
the-
that dude.
yeah, I do like, but Kellerman I don't like either. I don't like Kellerman.
I don't like any of them.
Skip is okay. Skip Bayless I think is okay,
Skip,
but it's only because he loves Tom.
skip.
So it's like mainly because he loves Tom. I really just don't care about anything else. But
No, I just hate how they like just tell people that you're fucking rich. That's my big like they almost like
What do you mean? They want to hide their incomes? Is that what
Yeah.
you're trying to say?
yeah,
What
they're
is
just
he-
like
Skip
sneaky
Bayless
with it.
Skip Bayless just signed like $32 million.
I know, but Dan, nobody's reporting on it. They don't ever talk about it.
I mean, it was pretty big news, dude. Fucking Smith was pissed.
Why is he
Because-
mad?
Oh, because I guess there was like
He's obviously
having
not making
contract.
as much money.
Yeah, he's like he's having some contract arguments or something.
All of
right?
these guys are like this. All of these guys are bitchy and cunty and very petty about this shit. Because I know a little bit about this from listening to like Opie and Anthony back in the day when they were on like Sirius XM, and they would have like they were always talking about their contracts. Always talking about the renewal of the contracts coming up. Man, we're in negotiations. Oh, this fucking guy over here, he doesn't even fucking get the audience, and they're trying to court this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Try to not pay me. Try not give me my fucking raise.
Well, I guess
Like-
you got to have some sort of competition. I guess like if you know to be
Well,
bigger.
they're all competing with it literally in the same network. That's
No,
what
yeah,
makes it
it's like
fun.
it's
because it's
literally
all
being on
vanity
this.
and ego.
Yeah.
And
It's like
you
being
know.
on the same team, being like, I need to get paid more than Tom Brady, and it's like
Yes.
you can't, bro. You
yeah,
can't.
they're not going to competitors and being like, "Will you pay me more?" They're like, no, they're like within their own business, their own company.
Mhm.
They're like sharks attacking each other, trying to tear each other down constantly to get an
Hey.
extra buck.
If it makes the content is king, I guess. But I think the best one on air that I actually like listening to his show, Rich Eisen. I like him the best. I think he's fair. I think he's drama free.
So you're
Like,
talking about like backed by a big corporation.
Yeah, if I have to pick a guy that's like legitimately, he's been in the
I
business.
used to like Chris Carter.
Chris Carter. Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, but then they fired him because he was too good.
Yeah, well, no. What did he say? He said some dumb shit. Didn't
No.
he do some dumb shit? That's why he got
No.
fired, dude.
Dan, he got
Yes.
fired because he spoke. I don't even know, but he would just tell you how it was.
Michael Irvin's been that guy, kind
No,
of lately.
no, Michael Irvin is a
He can do
NFL
it.
apologist. Come on, dude. He doesn't
I
say
don't
nothing
know.
bad about the
Chris
NFL.
Carter, he got fired for like some legit reasons, I thought.
He got fired, man, just for speaking his mind.
Let me see this.
I think he told some young kids how to spend their money, and they had a big tissy over it.
Really?
I think so. It was something like that. He gave some speech.
But isn't he somewhere now? I feel like I've seen him.
No, he's nowhere.
So as I can see here, I guess like something to do with something more serious than god damn. Yeah, so he got fired from Fox.
Yeah. Listen,
What the
man.
hell did he do, man?
He like cursed out his boss or something.
Yeah,
just
I
did
think
what a
he
man
cursed out-
did.
Yeah, I think he probably cost somebody. Yeah.
Did you say he did what a man would do?
I mean, no. Sean, it amazes me, like how much, like what Ariel Wani did on the show, like how much people would toe and bow to their companies.
Oh yeah.
Like I see people, and like Ariel Wani, like Pat McAfee's like, oh, you're on here, immediately hung up. Like he can't get in trouble for that, but immediately hung up. And just like I see guys, and not just in the sports world, like even in the companies I worked for, like guys that will just bend over backwards and do whatever the company says, even if it's not the right thing.
Yeah, because they're yes men, they're company men, they're simps. Also, I mean, people, dude, you get fucking comfortable. You get like a set of bills and shit, the responsibilities.
Sean gets that
like,
nice couch. He goes, I can't turn around.
I know. I just couldn't live like that. It would be so fucking hard.
well, let me
for
ask you a question. So, okay, so you didn't like doing what you were doing. That's what caused you to become basically a bum.
Yes.
And call yourself a handyman, whatever the fuck. No, but you didn't like what you were doing. But what if you made $100,000 more a year? Would you become a company man?
Well, I don't know. But
Hey, fucking answer me, bitch. No.
I would have to see what that felt like to make that.
No,
answer.
but let's say you're doing a job that you don't love, you don't hate, but it pays the bill. Like it's just whatever. Like you just go to work.
But it pays it's a little bit more than the comfortable range, right? So you actually can kind of enjoy your money and enjoy your stuff a little bit. But you have to work at a place you hate.
9 to 5, doing your thing.
Yeah, but like I kind of look at it like this. Well, that's fine and everything, but if I'm not happy, then what the hell am I doing?
I tend to agree with you, but this is also because I've never experienced that kind of money.
Well,
like,
I've never experienced that either. Like 200 grand.
If say I had a job where I made 200 grand a year, I didn't like it, but I lived very comfortably, I probably would suck it up a lot more than I would flipping burgers.
But there's a difference between being like putting up with bullshit for the betterment of your family and like your comfortableness around your being comfortable. But if your company's like, hey man, we're gonna like deliberately kill people, like some or deliberately hurt this group
yeah, but
of
how much money do you make?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about what you're saying. Like there's got to be a question of morality. And when it comes down to like, if it has nothing to do with morality, nothing to do with ethics.
No, it's just your happiness.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is like, I think most people do that every day of their lives. Like most people work a job that, and I hear you, but I'm saying like, if you're making 6 figures and you're working at like a hospital and it's just not your job, or you don't like really like it.
Yeah, but
You
that's the
know?
thing about like you can make that kind of money, man. There's all kinds of guys making that kind of money in that what I did.
Right. But you just didn't like and that's fine though. I think it's
Yeah, I
a
mean it's like if you don't sell like 1 million, that would be like a horrible year. Like if you don't even hit that and you get
yeah.
9-10% of that. So
Right.
you would make good money doing it, but if you're miserable doing
Okay,
it,
but like what is you have a family right now.
yeah.
But let's say you start making a shit ton of money because you decide to do something else. And you don't even really love the job, you don't hate the job, you're not
Well, if it
passionate
was a lot
about
of
it.
money and it was like because like that money was never guaranteed, obviously.
Right.
It would be different.
I'm just saying, I don't know if there is a magic number to happiness. But okay, would you rather make 70 grand doing what you love or like $200,000
Well,
doing something
70
you don't like?
grand and do I get a lot of freedom? Like maybe like
No,
I
like
only
70
work like
grand,
4 days a week.
your dream job, 70
Okay.
grand, or like 200 grand doing a job that you don't really
Oh,
like.
I'd rather have the 70 and do what I love if I could have my freedom.
There you go. And I think that's up to everybody, I guess.
What about you, Sean?
Well, do I get to kill people at $70,000 a year? That's really my thing. I can't even come anymore unless I'm thinking about killing people. So,
dude, like that's the crazy. Like when Mike was saying that these people could do whatever they want, like Jeff Bezos and stuff, I'm like, they literally can.
do you think they do that? Like manage the
bet
most dangerous game situations in some private island?
I mean, okay, Sean, tell 3 or
Have
4
you-
years
has
ago, if
anybody
I
ever
would have told you that fucking billionaires and rich people and shit go to this island and fuck kids, probably.
Oh, I would
Like,
have believed you.
no, but like seriously,
That's the kind of person I am. I'm like, of course they do.
Well, Dan,
No.
we already Dan, you watched Circle 9?
oh yeah.
They're killing little
United
kids.
Circle.
They're already doing that.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you're that rich, if you're that fucking like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates rich, you could literally pay to watch someone get murdered. Like you could do that and like not be discovered.
Yeah, well, there's like all these weird niche shadow industries in other countries, like China and Japan and stuff, where you can go execute people.
Dude, I was watching.
You pay money. You pay money to go do it.
I was watching the most dangerous towns in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you could just go pick somebody up from over there. No one's ever gonna fucking know the person's gone. These people don't have birth certificates.
Well, look
nothing.
at Skid Row in fucking America.
No, but Dan, these countries, like I'm talking about in like little countries in Africa, little countries in like Asia, like
you're talking about like little areas, like
and like the crime.
That's where all the sex trafficking happens. That's where like, a lot of kidnappings come from places like
drugs.
that.
And dude, Dan,
yeah,
they have these fucking bounty hunters that go after them, and they're wanted by the cops, and they kill them, and they get paid. So these bounty hunters are tracking them down.
It's like the Wild West, basically.
Yeah, it's like you should watch this. It was pretty cool.
Where'd you watch it at?
Netflix.
Oh,
it wasn't a Netflix documentary though. It wasn't done by them.
Right. It was just like a random thing on there.
Yeah, because if Netflix did it, it would have been bullshit.
The Murder of the Mormons, or
I've seen that.
I heard about it. I didn't watch it.
Did you watch it? You watched it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It's okay, but it's crazy what that guy could do, and you know what I mean. I don't want to ruin it, but it's crazy what that guy.
Well, that was crazy.
I watched the first like half hour, and Sarah and I were doing some Delta-8. It was on Saturday. It's the first thing we tried, and we're like, this is not the time.
Yeah, I will say it's the weakest. It's kind of one of the weaker ones.
Yeah,
but
it's not that good. They should have made it longer.
I don't know about longer.
You're out of your fucking mind, dude. All of those are like 3 episodes too long.
10 episodes.
No, this thing's only like 3 episodes.
I know. Good. Thank fucking God, Michael. You don't
Making a murderer. Come on, dude.
Making a murderer is. I mean, that's different. There's also a lot more to those cases.
How about Wild West? Like I like long things.
Oh, dude, Wild Country was like 2 episodes too long. Like you can tell that story.
I disagree.
More succinctly, dude. Those things would be so much more effective. Some of those, like that Mormon murders thing, probably would be better as like a 2.5 hour movie, like a documentary.
I would say like an hour 40. You could do an hour 40.
Yeah, not everything needs
50.
but that's just the Netflix model now. Now they know they're like, could get these more content. They also notice that like they stretch out the episodes because it means more people are watching Netflix for longer because you're going to be more incentivized to check out the next episode of a serialized true crime show than you are like if you're watching Frasier for the 5th time.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I do enjoy long form content. So I
I
guess
like
there's
them
really,
long.
some of them are pretty bad though. Like there was one on HBO. It was
Oh, I
too
don't
long.
watch it.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, it's too boring. Whichever one. What was it? The sex cult, Sean.
oh,
Nexium.
the next
Nexium.
one, yeah, that one was way too long.
It was too long. Like that one, it was legitimately too long. I was like, I'm
would have
so
been
bored.
better as like a 3-episode thing or a 2-hour movie. And also, there was like a sister show that Stars made about the same topic, starring, but it was about the daughter, that woman looking for a daughter, the one that was like a princess or something.
Yeah.
You know, the soap opera lady that was trying to get her daughter.
Meghan Markle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Meghan Markle. Exactly. But like so the other one was called Seduced, and that one was shorter and better because of it. Because it just gets it to the fucking point. Like,
I mean, it depends. Like if you're just, I don't know.
Well,
I just
dude,
didn't find that. Like the Alan v. Pharaoh. That one's pretty good.
And that's got 1 episode left.
Yeah, it's 3 episodes. It's pretty good.
It's gonna be 4 episodes.
4 episodes. And I've watched it, and I'm like, hey, Woody Allen, I'm convinced, is a fucking pedophile.
Yeah, I caught up with it today.
Wait, what's it called?
But I didn't. It's called Alan v. Pharaoh. It's about a famous movie director and his crazy woman that.
Yeah, I know he's a molester. What network?
HBO.
Yeah, he's a molester. I know. I'm aware. I'm all caught up in my. I've updated my molester
This
file.
This guy's a molester. Okay.
Yeah. No, but it's crazy because he marries his like 18, 19-year-old stepdaughter, basically. Like it's wild. It's pretty gross.
That whole situation, dude. I caught up on it today, so I'm all caught up. I'm current. That situation, it was like every.
Tell me that shit wasn't bullshit though.
Yeah, but every side of it is so fucked and weird and strange.
But Sean,
like Mia Farrow, like on the phone talking to Woody Allen. You're like, what the fuck are you doing?
What do you mean?
She didn't even want to call the police, dude. Like she's just as fucking guilty in some of this shit as like Woody Allen is when they're talking on the phone. There's all these.
Yeah, all that had happened already. All that had progressed.
I know that. And she's talking to him after the fact. And she's like, I didn't know that they would make me call the police if I took her to the therapist. You're like, oh, okay. So you weren't going to call the police when you thought
Sean
was molested?
Hold on.
Anyway.
So you're telling me, no, but think about it. Be like, she's recording Woody Allen, okay, they both were recording each other. They both.
Slime balls, dude.
But I'm saying,
slime balls.
But that makes sense. Like you're trying to
here we go.
Basically entrap somebody. But like if you're gonna, if I'm gonna want to like lure you into a sense of like of like being comfortable, if I'm trying to lure Woody Allen to get him to tell me something, I would say personally, I could see myself going like, well, I didn't know they were gonna.
So she's trying to be like, she's basically acting like in the capacity of Batman,
like an idiot. She's like an idiot, yeah.
No, I think that's a fair point because you would try to be congenial and try to talk to them, but some of that's I don't know. I was just like I don't like either of them.
And also, it's like when you watch Abducted in Plain Sight.
Oh, that
also on Netflix.
Was that the one with the fucking? That's
with the guy that like steals. And he's like, it was just kid stuff,
Yeah, Michael, if you want to watch one, then have your.
He's seen it.
Okay.
No, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen Abducted in Plain Sight yet?
No, I'm kind of scared to watch that one.
That's the one.
No, that's the one.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's as weird. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I'll
say
it's,
I don't want to watch it.
Fucking frustrating.
All the sick shit you watch and you're like, man, I crossed the line here.
Yeah.
It's like we watch Animal Passions. Hey, man,
I don't know if I could do this, man.
And then like 15 minutes later, like, what are you talking about? Getting a dog would be way easier than getting a pony.
Yeah. Mike's sitting here. He doesn't want to watch the shit because he doesn't want to find out like new things he's attracted to.
No.
Like,
because here's why I don't want to watch it, because what I heard was like the dad just let this happen right in front of his eyes.
Oh, both of the parents are very complicit. Everybody.
Well, it's complicated. It's a complicated.
And so mine would be like, if I'm watching, I just like maybe want to punch this guy.
You're definitely going to be upset. I think anybody watching would be like, what the fuck?
Also, we have the power of hindsight, distance. We know the entire scenario. We know actually what is happening in a way that If you're living that situation, you don't. And because of they were part of a religious community, if I remember correctly. Like there was a lot of
There were Mormons or something.
the kind of creepy shit that would happen at like St. Benedict Center, and nobody would
Yeah.
really do or say anything because, oh well, we're all Catholic, we're all like friends, we're all whatever, and all
Dude, there was
sorts of
that
weird
one
stuff
case that was fucked up.
What in Benedict Center?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well,
No
not like
no
a
names.
fucked up case, but anyways, one guy basically just stole another guy's family.
What?
And
Yes,
like he
I
like
do-
moved
yes.
in and he was still
But Michael-
living there.
That is a perfect fucking.
Wait.
That's
Hold
a
on.
perfect example of what I
What-
just was talking about.
What do you mean the guy stole? Like he just moved in?
he
Like, what are
just
you talking-
well, he
You like-
became friendly with the family and then eventually just took over the wife. And the dad was still living there, but then the dad eventually had to leave.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, this guy just like straight up like adopted this family. He's got in. He was like the wife and the kids, the house. It's all mine now, and now you're done.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
No, but that's a perfect example of like this slow creep. Like you don't have the context. You would never in 1,000 years think this is going
Yeah.
on. You know, this is your
Yeah.
fucking brother, right? Like,
Well, and I think it's the same
and they
thing.
probably, I think they let him live there as like to be nice. It's like a
oh, you're talking about
generosity.
the real life in
yeah,
Benedict
the real
Center?
life.
Yeah,
the
and
real
again,
life.
that guy was known to be like a pervert.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. A lot of these people are fucked up.
Yeah,
But-
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think you do too, because it's kind of like a. But that's just like stuff that would happen up there, and then the other like you would always hear like stories up there too about like, you know, maybe a brother looks at his sister, and
Oh yeah.
you would hear about like
Yeah.
I heard story. I don't know if they're true, but that's
Well, I
the
mean-
stories.
in those weird. It's a weird area. It's a weird spot. Basically hillbillies.
It's kind of.
That was a weird place, but I would love to have it. I mean, they have footage of that place. You could make a documentary out of there.
You
Yeah, I
think?
mean, it would be hard to get people to talk. Well,
Because-
actually, you could go to the ex members, but people are not going to want to expose themselves that way because some of that stuff is like deeply personal and weird things that happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Sean, they still have like video because like Mrs. LaPlume came down to Virginia like 2 years ago, and I was still living there,
yeah,
and she had like a VHS,
yeah.
like a bunch of them of like footage of just like, you know, just like filming outside, like people walking around, then like plays they would do. You remember
Yep.
like the plays they would do in like the
The school
cafeteria.
plays. Yeah,
And like we watched them all, and she had
I
like
was
we
in
didn't watch
that
all of
episode.
them, but she had like hours of them, and that's
That's-
just like one person. I'm sure there's many people that have a lot of hours of footage up
I
there.
think I could go up there and sweet talk them, be like, you know,
I don't know. That would be fun,
Give me
like
the tapes.
trying to get it. It would be kind of
give me
cool
the
to do
fucking
that.
tapes, lady.
Well,
That
I
would
mean,
be like an adventurous endeavor. We should look into that.
well, you look
I don't
into the
even know where
history.
you would start. I don't even know where the
The
fuck you would
plumes,
start.
right there. We have a lead. I got a lead. I got some tapes.
Got a lead.
They're
Gotta
not going to
lead,
talk to you.
But the
Mrs.
fuck-
LaPlume will.
Well,
She'll
no,
talk to
yeah.
me.
She'll talk to him.
Yeah, but I won't tell her what I'm going to use it for.
I just want to. You could be like, I have just had a daughter. I want to show.
Yeah, where I came from.
You know, I want to show her where I grew up and stuff. You know, my wife. I
And
wanna
like
show
and like
her-
my siblings are in the play. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I was probably.
And Sean, you
I
may
was
even
probably-
be in there. I think
I was-
Megan's in there.
Yeah, we probably were. Yeah.
Yeah, Megan's in one of them too. That was crazy.
That's
That like that's like a compound almost. up
It
there.
is. I mean, but it's just like it's a very insular community, and then they don't think that people would do things, even though it constantly is happening. People are constantly fucking each other in there. I mean, not literally, but fucking each other over.
yeah.
And for some reason, they keep it. They always keep it in house. It never
know what?
leaves.
You guys know about the foundations of St. Benedict, where it happened, where it came from.
Yeah, there's a book about it called The Loyolas and the Cabots, I think.
It's
So-
pretty crazy.
Because these people were basically back in Cambridge. They're all like Harvard
Yeah.
professors and stuff like that. There's a priest. His name is Father Feeney. He's actually a pretty
Yep.
famous name. You can go look him up. And they were basically acolytes of Father Feeney. His kind of old-fashioned take on Catholicism and no
Brother-
salvation outside the Catholic Church.
Brother
Et cetera, et
Francis.
cetera. Brother Francis, Sister Bernadette's, and a few other ones I can't remember the name. They basically started a commune.
Yeah, and they
And
were
they-
smart. Like Brother
and they just-
Francis
And they all had
went to
kids.
Harvard.
You know, that's what I'm saying. He was a professor.
Yeah,
But
at
they all
Boston
had
college.
they were in relationships. They had kids and stuff. They basically gave up the rights of their children. They decided to collectively raise their kids, and they took vows. They took
I didn't know
religious
that.
vows. Yeah, they became brothers and sisters, and then they raised their kids as if they were in like a boarding school,
I didn't know that.
which is
Yeah.
kind of fucking insane. But
Yeah.
that's what they did.
I mean,
And
it's basically
where
the
it starts. It
village.
starts in
It's
Fall
basically the
River.
village.
At some point, they end up in Fall River, Massachusetts, and then then those people get in a fight, and then St. Benedict Center gets started in Richmond, New Hampshire.
Well, I mean, it literally is the village. It's what it is.
Well,
No, that's what the village is. It's about a group of like intellectual people with like money and shit.
oh, sure, yeah.
And they move out into the middle of nowhere and raise all their kids like they're in the 1800s.
Yeah, and everybody, like the cool thing, like everybody, the land all around it was owned by people that went to the community. So the road, that dirt road, everybody practically that lived on that, besides like 2 houses, was part of the community.
Yeah,
And like people lived there, Dan. I lived on the community. You lived on the community. Me and you
Yeah.
were neighbors at one point.
Yeah,
We
I
were in
remember.
the community.
Well, it was
inside of it.
we
Deep.
were in it, man, deep. Do the M still live there? Paul's parents?
Yeah.
They still live in that same house?
Yeah, but the community's not the same anymore, right?
No,
it's not
all,
like it's big.
It's all fractured now because
Yeah.
there's so many like, not literally, but so many like incestuous type of dealings and people ostracizing each other. And there's purity tests about whether or not you're Catholic enough, whether or not you've suffered enough, whether or not like your kids are doing what they think the community
But
thinks they should be doing.
Do they still go to the
No,
church?
they haven't gone there. In
No,
years.
the church is still going.
Well, the church's still going, but the Paul's family is they.
What about the
have
school?
Not gone in
Still
years.
is the school still going?
Yeah,
Yes.
doesn't
But
your
it's not
brother
as
send his
big.
kids there?
Yeah, but it's not as big. It's not like what it was. It's like the thing that made it how it was is that everybody that lived on that road would
Yeah,
go
they all
there.
sent
now
Yeah.
it's like just random people live on that road.
Weren't they annexed from the church too?
They
like they
were
were-
for a little while.
I know that when we went there.
Well,
it
they weren't.
was.
They weren't like officially because they were always trying to.
Recognized.
They were trying to get recognized by the archdiocese
Yes.
of Worcester or whatever.
Wow,
and
Sean knows all this. It's
yeah,
good
they were
stuff.
they were trying to get it to happen. Even when I was a kid, they were trying to. It never happened.
Yeah.
And then I thought like last year officially they said no. They said no, and it's
I think they
mostly
got
'cause of-
recognized and then
it's
de-recognized.
mostly because of Brother Andre. Because
Why?
Brother Andre's like a nut. Brother Andre said he was gonna like make himself a priest at one point. Like I actually every couple of years I go look for stuff.
And Brother
I-
Andre?
No, just anybody that's there. I go because
Well,
they have a podcast. They have shit you can go find.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What?
Well, they did make some like anti-Semitic remarks
Oh,
or something.
that happened- Well,
Anti-Semitic.
that happened
Yeah.
years ago. That was God, I don't want to use people's names. Doug B. You
Yeah,
what
I
I'm talking
know.
about?
He used to sell cigarettes.
Yeah, sells cigarettes. Is
Fucking
just
dirtbag.
a dirtbag person.
Encyclopedias too.
Him and what's the fuck's it? Russell P.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. yeah.
Basically, we're basically engaged in a little light Holocaust denial to a newspaper.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes, like the
What,
Keene
they-
Sentinel or something. They said it to the fucking reporter that was up there, like checking out St. Benedict Center, because they were talking about like what makes this community special, like what kind of like what common beliefs do you
Yeah.
have that you get here that you don't get other places. And then they just went, and then they launched like insane people into like conspiracy theory stuff, right? That's how they, that's how it goes. That's how they roll, dog.
I wonder what they're thinking. Like it's the end of the world or something up there.
Yeah, think about that guy that he just mentioned.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Russell?
that guy was the other guy, Doug.
Doug.
That guy he would sell cigarettes. That's how like he kind of made a living in encyclopedias and stuff. Like think of that kind of character
Well, dude,
with the
some
bald
weird-
head.
dude, he used to be our landlord.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
like
you're
weird.
talking about B, right? You're talking about B, like
Doug B.
the pig pen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I nearly got killed by those piggies, dude.
But
Almost like in that movie Hannibal.
I got fucking a hog full on rammed me into that fence. One of those fences like fucked me up because I followed Mike's sister and my sister into the pen, and Megan's like, "Get out of here, Dan!" And I'm like, "Fuck you, dude." Next thing I know, fucking like, dude, just like I am never trying to run so fast, and my back was turned, and the thing just like rams my like, and I fucking hit the fence, dude, spun into the mud. And then the bee man.
And then Dan, that guy, imagine being 16 buying 275 pack of cigarettes.
275 packs?
Yeah, for a pack.
What?
No, $2.75 a pack.
Yeah.
Where did you get all these cigarettes from?
Well, dude,
He would just buy like cheap giant bolts of cigarettes and then sell them to the community.
like he was a third order member that they call him, like a third order brother. It's like a religious person that's not like hasn't taken the vow of like celibacy or just to be for God or whatever.
Mhm.
He hasn't consecrated himself to like the Virgin Mary or whatever.
What?
And he got like I think X'd out of there because he was committing massive amounts of fraud. He was stealing money.
Yeah, that's what.
He had this weird because he kept the books for them or something. I think for a
Yes.
while, and he fudged the books and steal money. But he's still there. I think. I think he still goes to church there.
I don't know. I don't know who goes who doesn't. I haven't been there in years.
Yeah, and then he had like a trailer where he had like he would sell books out of, and he ran. That's what he ran. He ran their book service, their book stuff,
Yes.
selling books.
And Dan, they had all their own
pocketing.
books. Like I've read one of Brother Francis's books.
Yeah, I have too. Years and years
What?
ago, but
Yeah, they
But
have
they-
whole books.
yeah, they
Dude.
publish their own books.
Do you think we should just start a commune, our own community, dude?
It's only a matter of time, really.
God, I mean, it just seems like you can make up anything you want. You can just be like, yeah, man, fucking Holocaust never happened, dude. That's a lie. You can say that shit.
Well,
And like people
here-
are all right.
Here, this is a safe place, okay? Listen.
Yeah.
here's
You know how many Jews died in the Holocaust? Fucking zero, buddy.
Yeah.
here
Goodbye, YouTube.
Yeah. Nice white supremacy symbol, Sean. Like I didn't see that.
somebody gave
I
me
did a salute and it too at the
Yeah.
same time.
Oh.
somebody gave me the book of Brother Francis, and
Yeah.
so I read it, and they said, "Oh, this will change your life." And I read it, and in the book, he has a statement that goes something like, "We do not need to study the stars because, like, God has already given us all the answers on this earth, and there's only like he didn't say stupid, but only like a stupid person would try to study the space. It's just basically a waste of time."
Yeah, basically saying that trying to endeavor and learn about outer space
Yes.
is not a good use of your time. Yeah.
Yes.
And
And when I
someday they'll
read
get-
that, I said, this guy's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Mike,
And
you have a huge problem with like Christian people or like religious people telling you not to think about that shit because you know what I'm talking about. You and a
Yeah.
certain somebody had an
Well, no,
real
that's
argument.
the person that gave me the fucking book.
Oh,
So
it all comes together.
that's what caused the whole argument, and like that's
Yeah.
how it all led up because I brought that up because after I was done reading the book, I handed
Oh.
it back to him and I said, this guy's full of a bunch of BS.
Well, because it's kind of in a meta way, like in a subtextual way. It's kind of like telling you not to fucking aspire, not
Yeah.
to dream,
Oh.
not to do anything big, not to strive for something in a metaphorical sense, and just be happy you have what you have, and God gave you this, and just be
Yes.
a fucking servant.
And
What
there's
a
like no other
fucking
life
fuck.
forms out there.
Or
There
just
can now
yeah,
be.
yeah.
Huh.
This
It's
guy's
just
no good.
weird.
He's anti-space.
And Dan, they have tapes. Oh my goodness. Brother
Yes.
Francis has tapes and tapes and tapes.
OG podcast, based because they're lectures.
They're lectures.
Yeah.
And like you can listen to them and like they go
Where?
over philosophy.
Where can you listen to them?
Well, I think you'd have to buy them.
Dude,
gotta buy
are they
'em.
on, you think they're on YouTube, dude?
No, they're not. I look, they do have a YouTube channel that they never use, but they have a podcast that's on like a very small podcast network that also is like broadcast to shortwave and stuff. But I think you have to be a member to like listen to the full episodes.
But they probably don't have those tapes up there, those old ones of the
I
lectures.
guarantee you they still sell those fucking things.
Well, they might still sell them, but they probably don't have them online.
No, they
Which-
should. They should though. They should be digitizing everything.
Which
So
one
that-
is it?
That would be
I-
a great documentary, Sean, one day.
It's what is the name of their
Is it Saint Mary Mother of God Church?
no.
Which one is it? Because there's a lot of Saint Benedict Catholic Church.
You just look up St. Benedict Center, Richmond, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Dude, that's just crazy, dude.
They
Or
have a
Immaculate.
store. They do sell things.
Yeah, they sell stuff. I bet you they should get into the CBD game, dude. They should be selling Delta-8 up there.
They should.
Get the
Maybe
people.
this is them. This seems like. Oh yeah, this is definitely it.
What
Dude,
does
they're
it
all
say?
fucking wild looking, dude. This is some wild looking shit. There's the stage with the red shit. Yep, I remember that motherfucker, dude.
Who?
This fucking guy.
That's great content.
Let me see. Hold
I
on.
can't-
Let it clear. Hold on.
Yeah, his brother Francis.
That's him, Dan.
Yeah. That's
What?
that old Lebanese man.
That's
I'm
him.
subbed. I'm subbed.
Oh, I think I'm sub too.
A radical traditional Catholic group. Oh my
Dude,
goodness.
that's wild, dude. That's wild. Like they're on YouTube, dude. That's where like the ultimate.
Yeah, but
core-
they don't like. I don't understand why they don't have like their lectures and stuff on there. Like I don't.
Does that be
Yeah.
banned?
They wouldn't be. I mean, most of the stuff they do is not that like crazy. It's mostly just talking about gospel. I mean, granted, they have their own prism of how they express those things or how they interpret that stuff, obviously, and it's much more harsh than a lot of other Christian or Catholic offshoots. Like because they are very hard line, like no salvation outside the Catholic Church. If you were not
No.
a Catholic, you were burning in hell, and there's no
Yes.
fucking
Yeah.
other option.
No other option.
And
you
people would
can
be
only
like, well, what
baptized
about
by
people?
water.
What about people in Africa? or
No,
whatever?
doesn't matter.
No, this is what they'd say. Most people have the opportunity. Like, but they would say, well, an extreme hypothetical, if you would never heard of the concept of God and lived a good life, you might be spared. But you couldn't go to heaven. You could only go to purgatory at best.
Yeah.
But they say if like a missionary or something came to your village and you didn't hop on that fucking missionary train, you're
done.
fucked, buddy. You're done.
Fucking Greg is just out like fishing for a few days.
Yeah.
know?
You better watch
what
out for
happened to those
Gregory.
And he missed the fucking the boat. And everyone's like Catholic now, and he's like, "What? Sorry, man, you can't be saved, man. You missed it.
I came
You
back.
missed
I
it.
thought
One
we were gonna
opportunity."
rape this girl on the beach with the boys.
We've
What the fuck's
changed.
going on?
We've changed.
Damn.
I don't know.
Dude, that's
Thank-
crazy up there.
Yeah, St. Benedict Center. I still remember living around it, like just that fucking road, that Lake Tully Brook Road. I don't know if I'll ever Tully Brook Road. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever
don't say where it is, Dan.
let
Oh, it
people
doesn't
go.
matter. People can. It's a public place.
I mean, you can, Mike. They know the fucking name.
I mean, I would
You've said New
never.
Hampshire,
I would
they'll know.
never endorse looking up their number and calling them, or like going to their place and peeing on the sign, or coming in
No, yeah.
or coming on their doorsteps and putting an evil matrix hex on them. I would never endorse these things. These are wrong, and you shouldn't do them.
It is pretty crazy that how close we lived to it. Even after we left, we moved back to Massachusetts.
Well, that's just a testament to like how hard it is to fucking actually just move anywhere to like with any real like if you got a family, you got fucking shit like that, like actually make moving like across going to other states and stuff.
Yeah.
Like gets expensive, dude. It gets crazy. It gets hard. It's almost like impossible.
Fucking know
Dude,
it.
we
dog.
need to do a story on these fuckers.
Well,
We
we could do
should.
that if you guys want. Like one night, we could gather a bunch of material and
Yeah.
we could actually try to prepare it and get pictures. And
Yeah.
stuff. So
We should do that. I'm down. Now that I have
that'd be
more
down.
time, I'm down.
Yeah.
We'll just start compiling stuff when you can. I'll start trying to look for things, and we can maybe just do a whole rundown. We could do a special episode or whatever. And just
Oh, yes.
do that.
The
It'll be fun.
cosmic special.
Let's
It'll be
do
fun.
it.
Talk about how we were raised in a somewhat of a cult for a little while.
A little while. Well, you were
That's
more,
crazy.
more than me.
I don't
Yeah,
get
I went to school there. Dan, you went to school there.
For a year. Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah.
You got indoctrinated. Not me.
I did, I remember making butter that tasted like shit. I remember getting my ass fucked up for fucking tucking in my pants, tucking my shirt in.
Dirty bastard.
Yeah. Ben P kissed me and I fucking hit him and I got in trouble because of the nun. One of the nuns like was a girl that grew up around there. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to bring their own in too. That was fucking
Yeah, dude,
weird.
it's fucking dude. That is a crazy place.
It
That
is-
really is.
it's-
I need to get Mouthy Buddha on him. I bet Mouthy Buddha would love that shit, dude.
I don't know if it's salacious enough. Not. It's too insular. It's too
I
like.
bet some shit has happened there, dude.
No,
I
dude,
think
crazy.
that's
That's what we were saying earlier. Crazy shit happens.
Oh,
like, do you remember
They keep
Mr.
it,
B?
but they keep it all in house.
Do you
Like,
remember
very
Mr.
rarely.
B with his fucking daughter? All that weird shit that was going on
What do you
with
mean?
him, like peeping on her and shit.
That's what that was the rumor. That was a rumor. I don't know if that was ever confirmed.
well, there's other rumors too. Like one of the families up there, a prevalent family that had a lot of power. Like his own, like the guy's son accused him of raping him when he was a little boy.
Ooh. Well, we're gonna talk about that when we
Yeah.
get off.
Yeah, I just don't want to say any names.
No, we're
No,
not
of
gonna say
course.
names
You
except
know,
for the
Sean, you
people.
ever heard of this?
Hey, Avery's listened to it. We lost Dan. He's dead. So our number one listener is gone.
He's gone.
Oh,
Sorry, bud. We drove him
Anyways.
to madness. We drove him to madness.
No, it's yeah, but God damn it, Dan.
No,
You really fucking
there has been, Sean.
what?
There has been some. There's been some horrible things done to people up there.
No, there has 100%. They're not good people. From an outsider looking in, like I feel like I am a much more moral and principled person than half the shit that I hear about that goes on out there. Even when I was a kid to when I'm an adult. Like this is the thing. Nobody thinks they're a bad guy. They rationalize this behavior. The ends justify the means to them.
It's like the
and
government.
I don't take it.
I've
I
heard
like it.
many stories of whether it's involving kids, whether it's involving young 18-year-old women with like older. It's just weird, man.
Well, because there's a predatory nature of the insular community. Like, so you have a lot of older guys that sometimes will be married and have kids before and then end up like leaving their family just to go marry a younger person and then have 10 more fucking kids. Like, how is this Catholic or responsible or anything? And their parents co-sign this shit too, which is even creepier shit. But we'll talk about that. We're going to do a whole episode in the future.
Yeah, for the young.
Yeah, we'll try to organize it. Maybe we can just go do a complete rundown, a better, more thorough breakdown of everything and our experiences living there. So it'll be like the last half hour, except longer.
Perfect.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to know more about ZooBox, there's a bunch of links in the description for Facebook, for Instagram, for my Twitter, for Dan's Twitter. Also, make sure to check us out or follow us over at our other YouTube page and on our D Live page, which is where we were doing most of the live streaming right now until we get the live streaming rights back on this channel, which will be in mid-May. So once that happens, we'll definitely at least have ZooBox Live. We'll definitely at least come back to YouTube. But anybody got any closing thoughts? Good to go.
God bless.
I'm
God
sorry.
bless.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.